Okay, so you can tell from the title, you can tell from the thumbnail, and you can probably tell from my voice just because of how bloody excited I am, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, Jacket is back. By far my favourite heister in Payday 2, admittedly, probably for different reasons to everybody else. The main reason I like Jacket actually has nothing to do with the Sociopath perk deck, his weapon, the heist that came with him, Hotline Miami at all actually, or even his voice lines, or the fact that he's a bloody chicken. The main reason I liked Jacket was actually because of his outfit. If you didn't know, on the console versions of Payday 2, we never got the ability to customize our outfit, so Jacket's suit being so unique was a massive draw for me. It was just so different from everything else that was in the game, so much more colourful, and that's why I started playing Jacket. And then over time, I fell in love with the voice lines being done on a little tape recorder. I always thought that was really cool, and then I got a little bit more invested in the Hotline Miami story, and I thought that was quite interesting as well. I still haven't played those games, maybe I should change that at some point. But anyway, in fact, if you scroll back all the way through to the very early days of my channel, you'll find this little video here. Let's ignore the fact that I had no idea how to title a video, and we won't even get started on that thumbnail, but you can see that I've been playing Jacket for a while. Of course, for those of you who may be a little bit out of the loop, when was Jacket confirmed for Payday 3? Well, officially today. Episode 3 of the Dragan files, which we'll take a look at shortly, has just been released and confirms the return of this iconic character. That said, if you've been keeping up to date with Payday 3 over the last few months, then the chances are you've picked up on all the different teasers that the Chicken Man would be returning along the way. So let's talk about episode 3 of the Dragan files. In my last video, I speculated about how exactly this episode could play out, based off of the teaser we received on Friday, and I actually wasn't too far off. I feel like I should confirm beyond any shadow of a doubt I hadn't seen episode 3 of the Dragan files before making that video. I know that the videos posted on the official Payday 3 YouTube channel often find themselves age restricted. That's something that always comes up in my Discord server when one of these videos is released. Therefore, with the intention of letting you enjoy this fantastic little short film for yourself, I'm going to play the full thing now. If you want to skip ahead in the video to when we begin discussing the episode, you can jump to the timestamp on screen. So without further ado, let's take a look at episode 3 of the Dragan files.
Target confirmed. Stand by for breach instructions once it's safe.
Copy. Alpha position. Ready to breach.
Alpha, you're clear to engage.
Hostage is KIA. Proceeding room clearance.
Hey, it's me. I followed the lead you sent me.
And?
Who do we know that loves excessive violence and dead Russian monsters?
Do you have any idea how little that narrows it down?
Okay.
Perimeter is
I
priority.
followed the trail of death and broken vodka bottles. I was getting a robot call trying to sell me crap at first. Discount the claw hammers of all things. Then the voice said, I'll break the law for you.
Can you introduce us? Joy gave me a crash course on the whole tape recorder thing. Will it be an issue?
Oh, don't worry about it. No issues. You get used to it quickly. He'll make himself understood.
Great. Let's get him back on board then.
Yeah. Fucking crazy, Jack.
Sacrifices must be The predator becomes the prey.
I've got to say, I'm probably far too excited about this reveal, but that doesn't change just how excited I am. There's some really cool details in this episode. One of the main ones that stood out to me was when the flashbang is thrown into that second room and it goes off, it creates a silhouette of Jacket on the wall, which I think is just a brilliant detail. I also think the fact that we weren't given a real close-up look at Jacket adds to the episode. The closest thing we get is this single frame of Jacket stood so menacingly in that window, and I love that that's all we really see. Of course, we do see Jacket very briefly at other points. We have that silhouette of him, as we mentioned before, from the flashbang. We also get an over-the-shoulder shot of him taking somebody out with a hammer, but the only time we really get to see the full man, the full chicken man, is this shot here, and I think this frame on its own is just so good. We've got these three kitted out soldiers who I assume are quite well trained, staring down this guy with no armor and a baseball bat. They've got 3 assault rifles aimed right at him, but we know that they're the ones who are in trouble. The fact that Jacket is stood between these guys and the outside world, boxing them in, is such a good use of the space, highlighting that they're never gonna leave, and it's all because of this little chicken man. It's also good to see another live action trailer that isn't just set in Dragan's hideout. As much as I love Dragomir Mirsic as Dragan, it's a breath of fresh air that this episode isn't just Dragan talking on the phone to Shade. Even though that does still happen, at the end of the day, this isn't the Chicken Man files, this is the Dragan files. I really hope that we see more of these live action trailers going forward. They're one of my favourite things about the Payday franchise. And you know what? I'm gonna try and manifest something here, okay? So bear with me if you will. I would love to be involved with a live action Payday 3 project at some point in the future. Even if it doesn't happen until something like Payday 4 or even Payday 5, I will not rest until I found a way to get involved. I feel like I should say yes, I do have experience with film production. I've got a degree in it, I've produced over a dozen short films, I've worked on a bunch of others as well, both as part of my degree and in industry, and I've been keenly paying attention to any whispers of that live action project Stockholm Syndrome may be working on. But anyway, I digress. This episode ends with the line, "The predator becomes the prey," perfectly summing up this episode, and leaves us with a date, February 3rd. Only time will tell if this is when we can expect the next update to the Dragan Files website, or if this is when the actual character pack will be released. But if we look back at the second episode of the Dragan Files that ended with August 19th, that was actually the date that Houston Breakout launched, so hopefully we're looking at a release date of early February. A few weeks ago, I speculated that we may not be receiving an update until the end of March, and thankfully I was proven wrong. It turns out that in a recent Heist with Almir livestream, he confirmed that we would be receiving an update in either January or February. I bring this up because that's a pretty big piece of information to be given out on a livestream, considering we hadn't been told when the next update was at that point. We had no idea when to expect one, and I wanted to take this opportunity to highlight that I think there really needs to be some form of communication put out after each livestream that discusses or at least makes us aware of anything of note that was said. I know this is something that Red Archer Live often advocates for, and I just wanted to jump in and say, yeah, I agree, I would like to see this happen as well. I think it's really important. But anyway, back to Jacket, our chicken man. One last thing that I wanted to discuss was the thumbnail for episode 3 of the Dragan Files that prominently shows off Jacket's baseball bat. Of course, we were told a while ago that a melee system wasn't something that the team had been working on, and in all honesty, I think if they were working on a melee system, we would have heard about it in one of the blog posts last year. That doesn't mean though that I can't still find this baseball bat suspicious. All in all, I think this is a fantastic way to reveal the return of a beloved character such as Jacket. I know not everybody likes Jacket as much as I do, and so I'm interested to see how the character might have been changed in order to address some of the criticisms he's faced in the past. Of course, this is all part of the Dragan Files ARG to an extent. Everything here links back to the Dragan Files. At the time of recording this video, I don't know if the Prospect 3 folder has opened. You see, I was fortunate enough to be given early access to this episode, so I really don't know if anything else is going to be releasing alongside it, but if Prospect 3 is open, or there are any other developments with the Dragan Files ARG anytime soon, you can be sure I'll be here to discuss things as they happen. Let me know what you think about Jacket's return in Payday 3. Are you looking forward to the character being back, or are you not as excited as I am? If you've enjoyed this video, consider clicking that subscribe button, and if you want to learn more about the progress we've made with the Dragan Files ARG, as well as take a deep dive into the backstory of Pearl, currently Payday 3's only new heister, you can click through to the video on screen now. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.